Data-Ride Trends webinar. 2017 is coming to a close, so today's webinar is all about looking forward. What are the trends to watch in the digital world for 2018? My name is Phelan. I'm the Senior Trends Manager here at Global Web Index, and I'm here along with our Senior Trends Analyst, Katie. And over the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be giving you a special preview of our newly published report, Trends 18. If you'd like to ask any questions as we go along, you can type in the messaging box and Katie will respond. And I'll also be answering a few questions at the end of the webinar. Trends 18 delves into 8 key trends that we think you need to know about going into 2018. I'm going to deep dive into 4 of these trends later. But first off, let's look at all the topics quickly. Marketers and brands are becoming increasingly interested in Gen Z. And while millennials have been much studied and obsessed over, this younger generation is only beginning to be understood. In Trends 18, we take a deep dive into this generation and some key ways they differ from their millennial counterparts. For years, the big social global platforms have been trying to repeat social commerce's success in the East, but with little impact. However, as we enter 2018, some key trends in device usage and social engagement can set the scene for social commerce to finally break through in Western markets, if it's pitched correctly. Africa is a region that is rapidly making an impact on the digital world. And as this is a region where mobile is king and vast numbers of digital consumers are mobile only, there are key lessons to be learned from studying African internet users. In other regions of the world, consumers are being told that the next device they need is a smart speaker. Pretty soon, even Apple will be in this industry. But with voice tech improving rapidly on smartphones, will consumers really take to smart speakers? In 2017, it was video that drove innovation in the social space. But with many social platforms, particularly Facebook, getting serious about music licensing, could music streaming via social be the next innovation in the world of social media? Influencer marketing has become a go-to strategy in the past few years, but with more and more brands jumping on the bandwagon, could influencer fatigue be setting in? Finally, we will look at the shake-up that could happen in the world of sports as online becomes more dominant in this sector and the big names in social media start to bid for ever more broadcast rights. And in the world of mobile payments, we'll take a look at the 2-horse race that is emerging between Apple Pay and Alipay and how we expect this competition to pan out across the world. Trends 18 also presents the Global Web Index view on some key industry topics. So our CEO, Tom, discusses how globalization and the unstoppable advance of the internet will lead to ever larger potential audiences for brands, and that marketing built with highly segmented communication is paramount to success in this world. Our COO, Ali, examines how the online advertising industry is facing some key challenges. But if we can restore trust in the digital advertising delivery and measurement ecosystem by innovative and robust methodologies, we can finally deliver on what digital has long promised to marketers. Finally, our Chief Research Officer, Jason, puts forward Global Web Index's view on the new GDPR legislation, which will have a major impact on data protection, but will also help the industry become more respectful and open to the consumers that provide the data that we use. So let's get stuck into 4 of the trends we present in Trends 18. The mobile payments race, do smart consumers want smart homes, sports online revolution, and social commerce take 2. And I'm going to start with the world of social commerce. Because it's often been assumed that social commerce will transform the way we shop online. Yet as we head into 2018, online shopping, in the West at least, is still firmly rooted in traditional online retailers. And many major social platforms have learned the lesson that introducing buy buttons does not automatically equate to in-platform sales. Things could be about to change, however, due to consumers' shifting device preferences and changing social habits. Globally, it's now 58% of internet users say their mobile is their most important device for getting online. And buying online is now a mobile-first activity. This is key for social commerce. As for commerce and social activities to take place in the same space, it needs to be on mobile. Just look at the success of WeChat in China, for example. Social media habits are also shifting. The migration of many online activities to social has meant networkers are a lot more likely to be using social media for more purposeful reasons, especially when it comes to commerce. Social strengthening its role as a product research channel, and rising times spent on social media per day. Both point towards networking behaviors becoming less centered around sharing content about daily lives and more orientated around fulfilling activities which conventionally lie outside of the social arena. What's most important here is convenience. Social commerce should allow for a seamless online shopping experience, one which is centered on smartphones, providing consumers with innovative, on-hand tools to find the products they want. Of course, Chinese platforms have led the way in convenience, letting users pay for bills or pay for items in store or online. And while China is obviously an exemplar, localized solutions in selling the idea of social commerce in mature markets need to be employed which don't overstep their mark. Because social commerce must learn the lesson of online advertising. Strong uptake in ad blocking due to ad weariness is a clear example of consumer backlash in the face of any marketing attempt that compromises consumers' online experience. If social commerce doesn't make a serious impact this time around, it's unlikely to get another chance. So let's turn to the world of sports. In a splintering media landscape, live sport has managed to retain its appointment viewing status. But with the likes of ESPN, BT, and Sky now reporting some declines in their sports broadcast audiences, it's clear that the world of sports broadcasting is changing. More and more, people are turning to their laptops, mobiles, and tablets to engage with sports content, catching highlights on the go, and augmenting their viewing through on-demand channels. Our latest research shows that over half of internet users are now watching sports coverage online each month, with mobiles the go-to device of choice. But really, it's social that could pose the greatest challenge, as well as provide the greatest opportunity for sports broadcasters and rights holders. About a fifth of internet users now say they use social media to follow or watch sports. Twitter streamed NFL games during the 2016 season, and back in Q1 of this year, it claimed to have delivered over 800 hours of live streaming content across more than 450 events. The likes of Facebook and Amazon are also eager to get involved here, snatching up online rights for major sports leagues. That's not to say we're writing off televised sports just yet. There's still a clear preference for watching games live on a big screen, and digital consumers continue to watch twice as many sports on TV as they do online. But the online revolution is not one to be ignored. Rights holders need to become less reliant on millions paying to watch live on their TV sets, and instead deliver content to fans in the most convenient way possible, which, more often than not, means online. It's in the industry's own interests to take the initiative in establishing ways to fully engage this audience, or they might soon find themselves chasing the fans rather than leading them. Another key industry to watch over the next year will be mobile payments. It's easy to think that the most inclusive and developed financial infrastructures will shape the future of mobile payments. But actually, it's often in emerging markets where the true potential of mobile payments is being realized. Mobile payment usage is growing across all markets as smartphones become ever more important to consumer shopping habits. Two payment providers in particular, Alipay and Apple Pay, are eyeing up this window of opportunity to establish themselves in these markets. And both services have the financial backing and technical know-how to seriously shake up the industry. Apple Pay may operate in many markets, but complex regulation makes international expansion a time-consuming and investment-heavy process. Even so, it's Apple Pay which is emerging as a true heavyweight in its class, with the strongest growth prospects, and with the brand able to rely on a major asset, that of its brand image, which is a particular strength in many emerging markets. Further international success will surely rely on this brand image, but with markets like India and Taiwan now in its sights, this pits Apple directly against Ant Financial, owner of Alipay. Before its expected IPO, late next year or the year after, Alibaba-owned Ant Financial is building an entire financial ecosystem and isn't confining itself to its native China. While some have described Apple as notoriously hesitant towards large investments, this is actually Alibaba's strength, especially in this industry. This explains the high-profile investments from Ant across many major M-payment providers in Southeast Asia and India, and also notably in MoneyGram in the US, probably to gain a share in the remittance market. Countries leading the mobile payments trends tend to have unique market conditions with different stages of financial infrastructural development. Rather than launching their own brand in these markets, Alipay often invests in or acquires the established players that tend to have local knowledge of how to leverage their existing market share. This tactic so far has given Ant inroads into India, South Korea, Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia, many of which don't have the merchant side capabilities of scale to support NFC technology that's required by the likes of Apple Pay. But Alipay's potential global reach becomes even more striking when we take into account Ant's purchase of a majority share of Southeast Asian commerce site Lazada. With a broad reach in Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, Lazada could offer a strong use case, probably in the form of financial incentives when using the Alipay app, to pay via Alipay on the site. And the company's already rebranded Lazada's HelloPay as Alipay to give it that bit more brand recognition. So as we head into 2018 and further, while there's going to be a certain number of markets that will hold their own and have local players dominant, so names like NaverPay and Samsung Pay in South Korea, certainly WeChat in China, and a handful in Sweden, there is a good chance that we'll see a large portion of the mobile payments landscape carved up between Apple Pay and Alipay. The likelihood is that much of this division will be based around infrastructural development, with fast growth markets most likely gravitating towards Alipay's turnkey solution, while mature markets ease into the idea of contactless mobile payments via a trusted brand like Alipay. Finally, let's look at one of the most talked about topics of 2017 and how this trend progress in 2018, and that's smart speakers. By early 2018, Apple have launched its HomePod device, a smart speaker assistant to rival the likes of Amazon Echo and Google Home, and with Samsung, Sonos, and numerous other brands also entering this space, competition to become the default name in this industry will certainly be fierce. However, our research shows pretty clearly that the vast majority of digital consumers haven't yet been convinced by the merits of smart home speakers. And that's in the context of Amazon's Echo having been available at a fairly modest price for quite some time now, including a lot of promotional periods. If we take the UK, for example, about 2 in 3 digital consumers still don't have any of the leading smart home products in their household, with most devices tracked in our chart scoring around 1 in 10 for usage. But what's arguably most revealing here is that over 1 in 3 say they aren't even interested in using any of these in the future, something which underlines the scale of the value communication challenge that the brands producing these products need to overcome. Tellingly, smart home speakers come towards the bottom of the table for both usage and future interest. Really, this had to do with the perception in some quarters that smart home speakers don't do any single thing particularly well, unlike a lot of the other devices that we're looking at, which have a clear reason for being. Put another way, smart home speakers might be capable of carrying out lots of functions, but they don't excel at any one of them. Even for voice assistants like Siri, Cortana, and Alexa, one area where smart speakers should be able to shine, our data shows that they face a huge challenge from mobile. Currently, mobiles are already perceived to be the most important device in people's day-to-day lives. And among the trend-setting youngest generation, they're capturing more time per day than all other devices put together. And pretty much all mid to premium end mobiles already have integrated voice assistants. And as their capabilities continue to become more sophisticated with each new generation of handset, smart speakers will need to demonstrate their value they bring and justify that additional spend. After all, smartphones benefit from a regular upgrade cycle, which is probably going to be a lot longer for smart speakers. And they're also typically carried around by consumers. Unlike most smart speakers that tend to be in one room, or you have to buy a series of them to put around your house. In a sense, these smart speakers need to overcome some of the challenges that derail smart glasses, a device with a premium price point that really struggled to demonstrate what it did better than a smartphone. Fans of smart speakers will talk about their potential as a hub device, connecting and overseeing other smart devices around the home, like your smart appliances, fridge, and oven. But most of these other devices will be connectable via smartphone apps. And this is an area where smartphones will score an automatic victory if the consumer wants to access them while they're away from their home. Really, unless smart speakers start to prove their value and function, they could easily become the next tablet, a device which enjoyed a fairly decent uptake and then started to gather dust as they struggled to compete with the endless advances and the popularity of the smartphone. So thanks for listening, everyone. If you want to delve even further into Trends 18, our clients can download the report now from our platform. And everyone listening now on this webinar will also get a free copy of this report in a follow-up email we'll send out pretty soon. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes to answer any questions. If you think of anything later, though, feel free to tweet me or send me an email. My details are up on the screen now. And you can always find out more about Global Web Index from our website, globalwebindex.net, which has details of all our other products like custom research and GWIQ. So let's check in to see if we have any questions. I think everyone's very happy then. Thanks very much, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the report.